Welcome, golf fans, pursuers of knowledge and the almighty dollar. This is your golf guru bringing you the 2020 ZoZo Championship, my hidden gems, ownership projections, and updates. Let's do this. And this should only take about 5 minutes, so I appreciate your time and joining me. And what I also would ask right off the front, if there's anything with what I'm producing here, the show, that you would like to see, or something different, or something I'm not doing that you would like me to add. I am learning. I am trying to make this show as pretty much as much information that I can give you in a short, condensed time. And pretty much what you're getting is all of the information that I work on during the week to build my lineups. And I decided, hey, I'm going to put this out in a show, and that's what you guys are getting. So real quick updates. I don't know if anybody saw, but yesterday Tiger played the back nine at Sherwood and gave, I don't know, like a 10-minute presser. And I just wanted to give you the highlights of that, which I think is good. Finally, some good information about the course. Tiger having his the Hero World Challenge there for 13 years, has done well at this course in the past, but kind of talked about the changes with the greens. And in short, what they did is they did not see in the future where a PGA event would be being played here. And so they wanted to focus the course to be more user-friendly for the members. And what that means is that they made the greens bigger. They flattened out the greens a lot. A lot of the contours and undulation that were there is gone. He also mentioned that they softened the greens. And what does that mean? It means scoring is going to be low here. In the past, if you looked at, and it's, the data we have is a bit old, but, the highest round that or the highest under was 17 under played in his event before at Sherwood. I'm expecting 20 up. To be, the scores that win this. And so that said, he also just mentioned, typical Jack Nicklaus course, wide fairways. So the guys that, aren't the most accurate off the tee isn't really an issue, but the guys who had the best approach, shot gain on approach, and putting, of course, is always going to come in. But I think the focus is going to be on the irons guys. And you can see in ownership projections that's already kind of coming to fruition. So that's just a little more information on the course, and I thought it was interesting what Tiger said. I will put the link to this interview in the description, so you can also watch it, but it is pretty quick. I think it's worth the watch. So with that being said, I went back and added what I added was really just the par 3 scoring to my model. And for this, I just wanted to look purely at, who's been the best with the approach. And I already had it weighted 15% in my model. Knowing approach was going to be key either way. I could, when you look at the yardage, and if you kind of look at the layout of this course, I didn't see that the the rough is not going to be penal. Very wide fairways. You can see that. And even from a tree perspective, it's not like if you hit it offline that you are going to be not able to hit your next shot. Not like what we just saw at Shadow. If you were far offline, you're going to have some struggles. And the rough was pretty crazy there. I don't think the rough is going to be nowhere near the height that we just saw. So with that said, some of these guys you got to kind of watch out for, and I'll just point them out. So Adam Scott just has not played a lot. So this 36 rounds is going back quite a bit. Tiger Woods also, as we know, hasn't played a lot. I think that's it. The two that I would caution where they're showing up would be those guys. The rest of them make sense, right? Morikawa, Cantlay, Corey Connors, great iron player, terrible putter. Victor Hovland, Rory. A little shocking that, okay, there he is. Sorry. I was trying to find Justin Thomas, but there he is. Okay, because has been leading the field with approach. So anyways, I just wanted to give you that information so you can learn from approach. And then I already had a couple of different par 3s. So if you look at the par 3, the weight that I had, there's 5 par 3s. And I didn't mention this in my previous show, so I wanted to bring it up. Of course, I focused on the par 5, and I think that's going to be cured. With 5 par 5s, a very unique feature. I think there's only one other course that even been touched on tour that has 5 par 5s. I really focused on that, and you can see the weight in the model is at 10%. But I didn't look so much at the 5 par 3s. And so you have 8 par 4s, 5 par 3s. And so I wanted to see from a shot gain perspective, who gains the most shots on a par 3s. And hence you got Rory, Cantlay, so some of the same guys, Hatton, answer. I'm trying to just think of anybody gleams. Adam Scott pops again, but again, I'm still a little hesitant on that one. Danny Lee, I actually put in a bit of him in the last at the CJ Cup and did pretty well. So that's kind of interesting that Danny pops up there for a value play down at the end. So that's it. I just wanted to make you aware of the top 10 par 3 scoring and top 10 approach. All right, on to the hidden gems. All right, so these are the 3 guys that I've identified that if you are making a build and you have to get below 7,000 to get to the build you want, and I don't think it's a bad idea. I think you have 4 days of scoring because it's a no-cut event. And I picked these 3 guys, and I'll talk a little different on each. But the course that I am referencing quite a bit, and there's been different comp courses people's brought up, but I really like Pebble Beach. And the reason why, it's a California course. It's got the same greens. And if you look at Monterey, Spyglass, the 3 courses that make up the AT&T Pro-Am, they fit this course very closely. And irons are at a premium, right? Because Pebble Beach, I don't know if they had these small screens, but if not, they're the top 3 small screens that they play on tour, which means if you can win at Pebble Beach with the winds and with the accuracy needed, and the length is very similar and same putting surfaces, then for me, everything correlates that, hey, we got to also look at guys who've done well there. So that would be the AT&T Pro-Am. You could also look at the past U.S. Open where Woodland won, but I'm not really looking at Woodland. He's been a disaster. I think he's dealing with some health issues. But so anyways, if you look at Nick Taylor at 6,100, he won not too long ago at the start of the 2020 season at Pebble Beach. And he actually ranks 28th in my model. And so I'm liking to play some Nick Taylor. That's, probably a bold pick, but, as in his recent form hasn't been great. But like I said, it's if you're going down to that low, he's someone to look at. Streelman, again, if you look at his history at Pebble Beach, and actually Streelman on ownership projections, it doesn't show up on what I'm going to show here, but he is already at like 14, 15% owned. So I'll make you, note of that, even though, and I think he is a great play. You can see everything down there in the stats. Now, from a putter perspective, Streelman is usually not that good that you see here listed, but there's something about the surface that he likes there. And again, it's just a course fit. I think it's going to translate over. And so I'm playing a bit of Streelman. And then Adam Hadwin. So funny enough, it's almost like Team Canada here with Nick Taylor and Adam Hadwin. But kind of the same thing. He popped up 15th on my model, priced at 6,700. And I just pulled up his last 2. So that's the CJ Cup and Shriners. And if you look over, you'll see right here, he had a 62, a 9 under on Saturday at Shriners. So he can go low, and you're going to need to go low here. So again, we're looking at guys low. Shot gain total for both events was positive, and I would have to measure this up. I forgot where he ends up approach. But long story short, those are the guys that I'm looking for the hidden gems to play. And then my last additional value play would be Binion. And Binion has been, I think he's lost like 12 strokes with the putter over the last 2 events. But ball striking, he's been in fuego. He's been ridiculous. And so for the price of 6,700, again, he ranked 30th in my model. And I just pulled up his stats. So if you look at what I was just talking about, approach has been very solid. And you can see the disasters with the putter. But he can, get hot with the putter. And when he gets hot with the putter, you can see, not too long ago at the BMW, he didn't even get hot with it. He just didn't lose 4 or 5 strokes. He ended up with a 12th place. And at St. Jude, he actually gained some and ended up at 12th place. So if you're looking at flyers down below, those are the 4 plays that I'm looking at. And then lastly, I wanted to share this ownership projections. Again, this has come out of Fantasy National. This is their projected ownership. It's pretty accurate of how things translate out. What they do is they calculate, everybody's favorites that they're picking. And then when they build lineups and then export them into DraftKings, that's how they're getting this information. And a lot of people that play the sport use Fantasy National. And so real quick, is no shockers. Of course, DJ is withdrawn. But you got JT, which this actually came down. It was at 25% yesterday, so it's down to 20. Xander, I think just from a price perspective, a lot of people, he's not as chalky. But you got Rom coming in pretty chalky, Morikawa, which makes sense. West Coast boy coming in almost 19. You got Simpson, which again, course fit. Simpson eats up par 7 or eats up 7,000 yard courses. Shorter courses is where he shines. Reed, let's see, Victor Hovland, Wolf. That's actually interesting because I didn't think Wolf would be as highly owned. Just the typical general public, just seeing what he's done typically would jump off. But some smart money knows that he's been in Fuego too from tee to green. Harris English, I think that's a good play. Bubba, just recent form, and funny enough, this course. There's a lot of movement in it, a lot of dogleg lefts, a lot of dogleg rights. I think this is a good fit for Bubba. And the putters where he's been hurt, and I don't think putting is going to be nowhere near as hard as what we've seen over at the Shriners and also Shadow. And Joaquin, no shocker there. Russell Henley. A lot of people said people would be off him, but I agree that's a good play. And then Adam Scott. Funny enough, even though the little bit of play and not the best of recent form, he is kind of highly owned. So anyways, and then I mentioned Streelman is also around 15% owned. I didn't put all the guys on here. I just grabbed, this showed like the highest owned guys. So that's what you're seeing here. The rest of anybody you pick is pretty low, 10% or under. So that is it. I hope that that helps, and to help you go ahead and lock in your final builds. And if you are liking what you're getting from me here, please like, share, and subscribe. And let me know again in the comments section if there's anything you'd like to see added or anything changed the way I've been doing the shows. I'm trying to make this as most information in the shortest amount of time to help you build the best lineups. Thanks so much. Have a great ZoZo championship, and I will talk to you next Monday.